Hi guys, so I'm not there with you today because I'm off to get Bubba diabetes test, so that's where I'll be today, Friday. However, I need to explain to you what your Holocaust Assessment task is, and that will see us out for the rest of the term. And obviously we will watch Schindler's List as part of this Holocaust Assessment, so please take this little, however long this little clip is, to watch to understand what is required of you in this final assessment task, that if you complete this task you will satisfactorily pass Unit 2 History. Okay, so here we go. What is this assessment task all about? Your final assessment task for Year 11 History, remembering you complete this and you have satisfactorily passed Semester 2. The task is you are all going to be handed your own Holocaust journal. So I'll show you where these will be residing so you can pick up your own copy on Friday, or obviously for those who are sitting their Unit 4 exams, guys, you will pick it up next week. So your Holocaust assessment is. So the purpose of the Holocaust journal is I want you to engage with a range of resources, which will be books and a PDF document that I've created for you, some documentaries that I'll put up on our Facebook page. And the purpose of a journal is you engaging with a range of resources and then writing your own opinion, your own feelings, your own emotions on the topics that made up the Holocaust. So here's some little insiders of what is required. This assessment task, I've changed the date. So it says Wednesday the 15th, but we're going to make it Friday the 17th. So you all have till Friday the 17th, which is our last final day together, to get me in this personal journal, okay? So you have class time from Friday all the way through to that date to get this to me, so you have plenty of class time. It works out to about 8 lessons. Why has Miss G given us 8 lessons to do a little journal? I understand that a lot of you are very focused on your Unit 4 exams. I do not want to distract you from that task, so I've spread it out to make sure that you can really engage with all the resources so that you actually get a real sense of what the Holocaust was. You can get a sense of its organisation, its structure, its purpose, the victims, the torture tactics, everything that makes up the Holocaust. So you'll have 8 lessons to complete this journal. What am I assessing you on? I'm basically assessing you on the following criteria. I want you to aim to fill in the spaces that I've provided for you, okay? Remembering this is all your own words, so you just need to write freely. You must aim to not just simply narrate, don't just really just, and then the Holocaust happened and 6 million died. I want you to really get into the personal stories. You must attempt all topics that I've presented in this book. Look out for your spelling and your punctuation as you go along. I'm going to talk about how you're going to use your class time. I really don't want any chatter and distraction. This is for you to engage with one of the most horrific events in history. I don't see why people should be sitting around chatting and having a little laughter. I don't think it's a funny topic, and if you really do think it's a funny topic, I will kindly ask you to leave and go to the library and do your own study. I want you to demonstrate that you've put in a bit of effort into this last task, our last task together, and I would love for you all to get it in by Friday the 17th of November. So what am I providing you to help you get along with this? I have created a PDF document that's got a range of all the topics that we're going to be looking at. So I'll go through the topics in a minute. So I will print a copy of these for you. So you have your own copy. You can save your printing, save it for next year, Year 12, and you know, I'm nearly finished here, so I can blow the budget. Just don't tell Gutters that. Also, you will find that I have created for us our own little trolley. Yes, it is. Oh, okay, our trolley. It is the silver trolley. It is a special trolley. It will either live in room 10. If it's not in room 10, then you need to go to the library and seek out and ask Mr. O, where can I find the Year 11 History Holocaust Resources trolley? So you are looking for a silver trolley. It is clearly labelled. On the silver trolley, there are a range of books. You know, those things that people used to read. Okay, so there's a range of books, but some of you might be happy just to use the PDF document that I've created, but some of you are really interested in knowing a bit more. So you might find your way looking through some of the pictures or whatever is in these books. I've clearly highlighted last year's textbook because it describes the Holocaust really shortly and sharply. And unfortunately, this year's textbook, they didn't include the Holocaust as a topic. So this is a resource that you can use. All right. Coming back. Also, I'll put up some docos on our Facebook page, particularly one that's called A Day in Auschwitz. And if you remember when I introduced the Holocaust, I told you about famous survivor called Kitty Hart Moxon. That's her documentary. It's fantastic. I've edited it. It did go for an hour and a bit, but I've got it down to about 40 minutes. And lucky last, anyone who's really interested in a fantastic website, this is an awesome website on the Holocaust. Okay, so you can't possibly say, Miss G, I've got no resources. I can't find my information. You've got a hell of a lot. Okay, so what topics are you exploring as part of the Holocaust? First and foremost, I want you to see that there's not great slabs of writing, okay? I don't want to spend our last few weeks bogged down with all this needless, long writing time. So you guys have been writing about 8 sentences on each topic. The first topic that you're going to explore is early persecution. So I want you to read up on things and look at things and watch docos to explore how the Jews were persecuted in the early days. So we're talking about the 1933, 35 and 38. So you're looking at the boycott of Jewish shops, Nuremberg laws, and Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. And basically in that little blurb, after what you've read and seen, you just have to write how you think the Jews were harassed and they were intimidated, how the Nazis classified them, how they're made to feel unwanted. So remember, it's all your own point of view. It's how you feel about what you've read. Topic 2 is you're going to look at the continued rise of anti-Semitism, remembering that anti-Semitism is the hatred of the Jews. So you're going to read up on how they were publicly humiliated. Remember I told you about how the rabbis were made to go out in the streets and their long locks, which identified them as being a rabbi, were cut off publicly, how they were stereotyped and propaganda, how they were made to be branded with a J for Jew or the Star of David, or even how the Nazis were using old hatreds and bringing them back up in propaganda. So you're going to talk about what forms of hatred did the Jews encounter on a daily basis. Topic 3. You're going to explore other victims of the Nazi Party. So obviously the Holocaust, a lot of focus is on the Jews, but I want you to take a moment to explore the other groups that were victimised. Your gypsies, your blacks, your political opponents, homosexuals, disabled, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Polish. Okay, so do some reading, particularly in the PDF document, and I want you to identify how these other groups were made to feel inferior and how they were harassed and intimidated and bullied by the Nazis. Topic 4 is what we've already covered. So again, it's just your opinion. Obviously you did a quiz on World War II, so you need to go over those quizzes and that should help you to fill out most of those lines. But what you've already learnt in class about World War II, remembering you watched a doco on it as well, I want you to tell me how you think World War II increased the brutal treatment towards Jews and other undesirables. So as Hitler invaded and occupied countries, how did that actually help the Holocaust to come about? Then we get into where Schindler's List plays a part. So you're not going to embark on topic 5 until we start the film Schindler's List. But while we're watching Schindler's List, we will also be reading at the same time to look at the ghettos. We will explore how the ghettos are liquidated and how the undesirables are deported. So obviously the train rides and everything. We will also watch Schindler's List to explore the camp system. So we're looking at concentration camps versus extermination camps, their purpose, their location, their organisation, daily life, what sort of experiments happened in them, how were the Jews and undesirables deceived, and what about the SS, just everyday German and other citizens? How did they go about being part of this mass murder? And lucky last, because we're watching a film called Schindler's List we're clearly going to explore Oskar Schindler and look at the people who helped liberate the Jews and the undesirables. So, you will be starting Schindler's List next Friday. That means I will only be letting those who have completed topics 1 through to topic 4 to start watching Schindler's List. So you have from now a week to do topics 1 to 4. Those of you who have been sitting exams, I know that most of you will be finished by next Tuesday. So that will give you a few days to quickly jot down, remembering it's your own point of view, okay? So some of you will be able to fill this out in just 1 hour of solid writing, okay? Not asking for major time limits. Where will you find your booklets? So those guys of you on Friday who are going to be here, you need to come and find the silver trolley, either be in room 10 or be near Mr. Rowe in the library. Come and your booklets will be in Class A. The Class A folder. You all need to collect your own journal, okay? And you need to collect your own PDF. Make sure that you name them. And if you want to take them home, you can. Otherwise, they are to always go back into the orange folder. And lucky last, we're trying to create an atmosphere where you engage with the resources. So on Friday, when you have a teacher other than me, say to them that you are allowed to bring in your own music, because I want you to chill out and read the things that you're doing so you can write away, but you're also allowed to come and get the beanbags. Okay, because I want you to engage with your resources and really just sit there and relax and write what comes to your heart. Best of luck, kiddies. Rightio, and before I sign off, guys, lucky last, I just want to make you aware that on the front door of our room 10, it says Year 11 History Exam, and gives you an outline of what's going to be on the exam, so make sure you take a few minutes to read that. And also, when we finally get to Schindler's List, if you come out to room 10, please find 5 minutes just to read through all the main characters so that you understand what you'll be watching. Cheers.